There she is.
Hello.
There he is. Hey, guys. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. So different than the real stage.
Everywhere is your stage, I feel like. Right? So clearly I'm a supporter of you guys' cause, and we got to talk during our rehearsal the other day. And I know it's been hard. It's been hard for both of you guys. I know that, I had asked for some silver linings, and it was a little hard to find some of them. And I think that a lot of people are finding that. And, I want to ask you guys, can either of you speak to really what's been happening for your organization over the last 4 months as far as, what are the fires you have to put out and making some transitions? What did that process look like for you guys when it first started?
Really? No. Well, we are party planners. That's what we do. We throw events, and events are essentially illegal right now. So we're not allowed to do that, which is a bummer. And so we really had to revamp everything as far as our communication strategy, obviously our fundraising, but we were very conscious about the fact that we needed to stay in touch with everybody. Our donors and our supporters and everyone need to know what's happening. And being that we work in a child advocacy center, we bring together all different agencies. We all have our own protocols. We all have our own policies. We all have different stuff going on, and there's a ton of moving parts, but all of them affect each other. And so we really made an effort to sit down and have interviews with people and get that content out to everybody so people know what's going on. And because of that, we've had great engagement with our donors, with our sponsors, with our other partners. We've really tried to stay on top of everything social media wise, just to let people know what's going on. Everybody feels so disconnected and so disjointed that we tried to make an effort to come in, speak to each other, speak to the different departments and find out what's going on and what their reality is like, and then really share that with our community that supports us.
I think that's so important. I think and we talked about that too, that making that phone call is really crucial and imperative during this time, to really ask them that first question, how are you doing? Right? Before you can even get to an ask, you got to figure out what their situation is. And so I know that that's been a huge task for you guys and for a lot of people on the event today or the workshop today. And I'm going to pass this question off to Bradley. And, we're talking about major events, right? So something that you guys do is like chocolate fests in the fall, or you have the Dragon Boat Festival, and some of these just aren't possible to do virtually, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about later, to scrap and recreate the event that you need to raise money. Do you feel like you guys have some alternatives, even after our conversation yesterday? Do you feel like that you're gaining a little bit more confidence about maybe considering going virtual moving into the fall?
With events not happening, that was a crucial decision, but we do have a slight confidence that going virtual can be successful. It just depends on the most strategic way that we can implement it and go about with it, because there's Zoom fatigue sometimes, where people just get overwhelmed with doing so many Zoom chats. Like, this is like my 5th one today. But we do have the confidence that we can move towards that strategy, because ultimately we have to in order to raise the funds needed for our victims of child abuse.
Yeah, and I think that one of the, one of the things we want to encourage nonprofits to do is, there's a sense of, to me, I'm one of those people, find the hardest challenge and do that. And so we want to challenge a lot of our nonprofits to say, okay, don't let the pandemic win. Don't let them take away events, even if that means they can't be live. And so, I know that you guys are big supporters or you're supported very heavily in the community. You've got a lot of people who have got your back. And so what are some other ways that you guys have found leverage in, communicating with your donors? What are some other things that you found are great for you to grab the cash?
So from the beginning, it was simple as just making that phone call. We knew from the beginning volunteers, donors, sponsors, they did not want to receive an email about something that was being canceled. They didn't want to see it on social media either. I'm sorry, but if you're a major corporate sponsor, you don't want to see that your event that you are presenting is being canceled. You want to hear it one-on-one from a phone call conversation or Zoom or something like this. So from the beginning, that's what we've done. And it was amazing to the things that we were hearing, such as Navy Federal Credit Union. They were a big sponsor for one of our events that we just canceled. And we met with them just a few days ago and told them straight up, the event is canceled. We are so sorry that we're having to do this. We understand if you need a refund. We understand what needs to go on. And the first thing they said was, thank you for calling us, for making the time to do that. That is what we want to hear. And we're here to support you no matter what. So just checking on people, giving them that call, and having the interaction that people miss right now is key.
Absolutely. Relationships come first. And I want to open the floor, Megan. There's a couple of secret weapons that you can use to raise some money. And Megan and I talked yesterday, and she brought one up that we've used a couple of times. But I want to have you tell some people what's one other thing that has really been successful for you guys virtually.
Okay, I'm only telling this group, and if you all steal it and you all do it, I mean, that's fine for this group. And half of y'all are in Scotland and Texas and all that place, so that's fine. But we have actually found a lot of success with Facebook fundraisers for birthdays in particular. And what we found is, a lot of our board members, we have all those board members who will do anything for us but ask for money. I'll do anything. I will deliver stuff. I will tote tables. I will do whatever you. Please don't make me ask for money. That's like the dreaded task of everyone, which is why they hired Brad and I. But we have actually worked with a number of our. We actually asked staff members. We asked some of our ambassadors, some of our highly engaged volunteers, if they would be interested in putting on a Facebook fundraiser. And it's super, super easy. Facebook practically does it for you. If you're connected to a cause or, any cause, a few weeks before your birthday, it'll send you a little message and say, hey, do you want to raise some money for a cause or something like that for your birthday? And what we found is that they do have a kind of prepackaged text in there. And what we've done is we've worked with all of our individuals to come up with a very, very tailored message that really speaks to that cause and why they're personally involved in those kind of things. And what we found is that we've uncovered new relationships, we've uncovered new prospects for people. They may not heavily, donate through that cause, or that little fundraiser, but it's new people bringing it in because we're reaching new pockets of networks that we weren't connected to personally. And then what we're having our board members do is just write them a quick note on your Gulf Coast Kids House, stationery and things like that, so that they start that connection for us. And then they could send us the information. You can send them a little thank you on Facebook. Super easy. And then Brad's secret weapon, he was brave enough to actually ask this. He has actually asked a number of the birthday people to match those gifts. And so we've actually had some really great success with that. So we've actually doubled some of our money. So very brave, slightly terrifying.
I'm going to be honest. When I did that first ask, it was just as a joke because there was a coworker. And I said, would you consider matching it? And they just said, yeah. And I'm like,
because I can't believe I just did that. It was awesome.
You're a keeper.
It's really, really easy for people. And I feel like they don't feel it's too asky. It doesn't feel cheesy. It's giving people an opportunity to share why they are involved with us, their why, because everybody has a different why. Everybody has their own personal network. And that's been something that people can do from home. And just about everybody who's come up with, they've come up with pretty modest goals, but everybody who's done one has achieved their goals and exceeded it if possible. So I definitely think it's pretty inspiring to watch some people who are not normally fundraising people and get out of their comfort zone a little bit and do kind of what we all do on a daily basis. Because for us, it's normal. It's what we do all the time. But they get really inspired and get excited about it when they can kind of do their own little part. And it's been pretty cool to watch.
That's really awesome. We did have one question about, it's from Catherine Schmerzler. I've heard that many current organizations are having problems getting paid by Facebook. Do you want to comment on that? Have you guys had any issues with that?
We haven't had any issues. We do ask each of the people who are doing the birthday celebrations and things like that to notify us and let us know when they've completed it and how much we should be expecting. It does take 45 to 60 days for you to actually see those donations come in. But we've done a number of these in the past and we've never had any issues with it coming in. The biggest thing is that a lot of times those people who give Facebook fundraisers do give anonymously through Facebook. So you won't put any of their contact information, and it will be rolled into any other regular monthly donations you guys may or may not collect on Facebook. I know we get a few here and there randomly. So it won't just come across and say, this was Brad's birthday, fundraiser or anything like that. It'll all just kind of lumped in together.
Yeah, I think we experienced that with a Favor House too, and it does. It kind of comes as one lump sum. So, well, I appreciate you guys coming on, and we're excited to be able to network with you guys outside of the presentation. And so that's what we want to do now. We want to go into a 15-minute break, let you guys do some networking, take a little breather, everybody walk around, stretch a little bit. And then the last part of our program is going to be about 45 minutes. And what we're going to do is going to talk about what we can do to really execute that virtual event. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it and talk about a couple of those things. Now that we've talked about marketing, we've talked about the marketing plan. Now we go into production, which is something that we do a lot of. So thank you guys for hopping on. Stick around so you can meet some of these really cool people that are in the workshop today. And we'll see you in about 15 minutes. So we're going to come on right on at 4:10. All right? You guys stay tuned.